So, good morning. It's afternoon, maybe. You never know. Everyone listens in different places around the world. It is Anton here from 4x4@far.com, and as you would have heard, I've been doing one or two episodes on tents, a little mixture between the two, the difference between the rooftop and the ground tent, and then obviously the dynamics between having one or the other. So I did a little general version, then I did one on rooftop tents, which thanks to Google didn't really play the game. So let me do one on ground tents. So what I'm going to do is open up a page, an empty page on Safari, and type in, let's start with America ground tents, because as you would have heard in the previous one, Google decide what we can and can't search. So American-made ground camping tents, and checked it. Let's hear what they have to say. Well, let's see what they show. So American-made ground rooftop tents. So best made in America 2019 All American Reviews. Let me click on that link and see what it says. Right, All American Reviews, best tents, our findings, top recommendations, all purpose. So obviously, you know that this boils down to what you currently need and what you're looking for. So you will get tents that are 1 man, 2 man, 4 man, 6, and so forth. And it all depends on, are you going to carry the tent, are you going to drive with the tent and then unpack it? Are you going to move the tent every night? Obviously, then it's a smaller version and a quicker version if you're going to stay in the same place for 2-3 days. So let's have a squiz over here. Right, so the first one that pops up, best all-purpose camping tent, is called a Hyperlight Mountain Gear Eco 2 Ultra Light Shelter. It looks quite futuristic. It's got a silver fly sheet, which is pretty much the new thing now for a number of reasons. In fact, it says they use Dyneema composite to build the top. So I know a fair amount about fabrics. I have 20 years textile experience. The bags that I make or have made for my overlanding that I sell are made out of Cordura. So it is very strong. This one is out of Dyneema, which is a composite, which is basically a high molecular polyethylene fabric. It is indestructible. They use it for ballistic vests and a bunch of other things. So you can't stretch it. It's got no elasticity. It's a flat fabric, meaning it has no life, but it is crap strong. So what they say here is easy to set up. It's lightweight, protective against light and medium rain and wind, and it keeps the bugs out. Obviously it's going to keep the bugs out because it's a composite. There is very little movement in the weave. Let me have a look at what it says when it says price. I don't really want to open a whole nother page, which it's just done. Wow. So that is $690, so say $700 to $775. That's quite flippin' crazy for a tent of this size and this look, but that's what you pay for when you get Dyneema. And so obviously silver helps fight against the elements of the sun and keeps the temperature inside a little bit more regular. Let me go back, because that's definitely not something on the general price range. Best tent for family. So this is called a Spring Bar Highline 6-person canvas tent, 10 by 10. So 10 feet by 10 feet, it's a square tent. It's got slightly domish at the top. It's got good ventilation. It's got a little canopy with poles. So they say here things we like is the size, easy to set up, durability, and it's got an awning. So the next one says a hammock. Not really more for camping. That's an individual thing. I'm going to move on from that. Best tent for harsh weather. Warm Light Climbers 3-person tent. It's very domish and round, like a rugby ball or American football type of vibe. The entrance, it looks like it's got 2 entrances. One for like a little bit of changing area. So it's not very big to stand up in, but you can kneel down and get changed. What do they say here? They say aerodynamic design. Yes, I can see that. Sturdy material, which means nothing. Easy to set up in harsh conditions. So basically, if it's howling wind, this sounds a little bit easier. I doubt it, because when it's windy, it's terrible. It makes it uncomfortable. There's no tent that's easy unless it's a pop-up tent. Then all you need to worry about is how you're going to pin it down with pegs. And it's got temperature control. That would be because of the windows. So it says here, things we don't like, slightly expensive, but typically these types of tents are reserved for your serious alpine climbers. All right, so I don't know. I'd love to know who actually reviews these things, because unless I see video footage, I pretty much wouldn't trust many people, because their experience and volume of doing this type of thing is very different to mine and very different to possibly any listener on this. So let's have a squiz. It says best tent for you and your pet. Okay, I'm going to move on from that. Best bug shelter. Looks like a half a teepee mixed with a normal square tent. Lots of ventilation. So I would make this for... It's got one pole on the outside that holds up the net. It's quite an interesting design, actually. I haven't seen something like this. It is breathable, obviously, because the whole top of it is a mesh. Effective at keeping bugs and moisture out. Moisture, I'm not so sure of. Easy setup. Interior pockets. Can transform into shelter with some other Yama gear. This is called Yama Mountain Gear Silpally Net Tent. Okay, so I would give this a summer tent. I'm not going to dig too deep into it. Best canopy tarp, that's pointless. They got factors that they considered. Okay, so that's interesting enough. Let me find something else. So there's a popular mechanics for 9 best tents for 2019. 2018. Sorry, let's open that little bad boy up. Right, so here we come to normal. Non-hectic or special type of stuff. It says best for inexpensive backpacking trip. It's called the Campground Mesa 2. It's $117. Looks realistic. It's a dome tent. It looks like it's got 4, maybe 6 poles, maybe 2 in the front with the zippers, and then 4 diagonally like an X across from each other. So that doesn't seem too hectic. What else is there? It says best backpacking tent, MSR Hubba Hubba. MSR I know is really good stuff, but so is their price. It's $550. This thing looks like it should be on the moon. The poles are quite challenging. It seems, I'm sure they've done it cleverly or specially, but it looks a little bit hectic. It looks like even the poles are at different angles to the other poles. So I don't know if it's really realistic. It says it's not cheap, but backpackers looking to make some few compromises as possible likely will be disappointed with the MSR Hubba Hubba NX tent. I'm not so look for $550. You can definitely get something that's a lot better. That looks a lot simpler. Unless you're in a fashion statement when you go camping, and if you are, then you shouldn't be listening to this because that's not practical. And please close off. I'm obviously joking. The best value Coleman Sundome 4-person tent. This is a little bit more realistic. What I like about it is that it's got a dome over the top, over the poles, so the air can flow through the top, but not into the tent per se itself. And that what that does is condensation. It's got 4 big poles, which is pretty simple. It's looks like it's seam sealed on a PVC. So the tent, the lightweight tent, is seam sealed at the bottom, which is about 3. Now I'd give it about half a foot up, which means any water or moisture coming underneath, you're pretty safe on. It doesn't zip all the way down to the ground, which is also very clever. It has a slight slit with a zip on the side, which I've used before in my Oz tent, which was pretty cool. And basically you can still plug power or something like that into it if you have a fridge or something like that. And this is sitting at generally 80. What are you doing? Get off here. Oh man, what's wrong with you? All right, there. Sorry, a pop-up advert came on. So it's the Coleman is sitting at $85 on special on this Popular Mechanics at $53. That's pretty good. That's pretty That's a good price for what you're getting over here. It says you can sleep up to 6 people, maybe 6 babies, but I would give it 2 people comfortably with a little bit of gear. 2 adults, 2 kids, workable, but you wouldn't be able to store all your stuff inside it. Then there comes, holy moly, I think they got a few zeros wrong on here. It says, best for camping, Big Agnes, black tail 2 tent with footprint. The price is $6,174. I think they got too many zeros in there. It should be maybe $61 if I look at it. That doesn't seem right. Including the wire cutter, whatever wire cutter is. 3 overall 10 for camping, lightweight. I think they made a mistake on the price. That's for sure. I'm not going to read any further if that is the price, but it does look workable. Similar type of thing's got a fly sheet which is separate to the main tent, so you're probably going to have about 8 poles. It same zips above the ground sheet, which should be seam sealed, so nothing can get through there. Big Agnes Copper Hotel. This is $650. I don't know who this Big Agnes is, but that's a little bit extreme. You can go back and get this other one that I was talking about for $80. This Coleman, which is pretty much the same thing as Big Agnes with $500 less. I can do a lot with $500. Sleeps 4. It's crazy, man. What's wrong with these people? If you look at the fabrics around the world, even if you go for a stretch fabric on a tent, it doesn't sit up where these guys are talking. So I don't know who their target market is. Obviously the lower the price, the more volume, the cheaper the fabric, the whole story. The higher the price, the better the fabric, all that type of thing. But the way technology is these days in fabric, you don't have to sit and worry about this nonsense, man. That's crazy. Holy crap. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Next one, best for REI members, Kingdom 610. So it's at $284, $285 really. It's a dome tent. Seems pretty decent and nice. I wouldn't mind this. Not that I go for ground tent, but I wouldn't pay $200. Actually, I probably would pay $285. It's a nice tent. There's good space inside. There's a compartment, so you can store stuff in one side and sleep in the other, which is you can interlock, so you can close it. And it's got a nice big entrance side. So I don't know what the actual size of this is. We're sitting at affordable and versatile. What am I looking at here? It's called the Mountain Smith. Similar type of scenario. It's got looks like one long pole and then 2 poles that lock into that one pole. That's sitting at $300. It's pretty decent, but I would go back to the Coleman as an example. Serious campers are the Mammoth. It's sitting at $420 on sale with 21% off. So let's just say $530 worst case scenario. Dome tent, good ventilation all round. It's a bit of a fashion statement, but it'll do the job. If it rains, I hope there's a fly sheet. Doesn't show that there is. It says it's got 96 square feet. I don't know what 96 square feet is. I could probably do the research and find out, but I'm not going to do it right now. Then there's another one sitting called a Eureka Copper Canyon 6. So it looks like it's quite big. 6 sleep 6, which I can see. Ventilation on 4 sides. It's got a fly sheet over that is separate to the actual tent itself. It's a square tent and dome-ish on the top. So hang on, it says 8 to 12 people inside. So 12 meaning that you are pretty much cuddling, and if you like cuddling your buddy, then that's cool. Me personally, no. So I would stick on about 8, Why they call it a Canyon 6, I don't know. They should just call it a Canyon 8. What else is there? Oh, that's it on that one. What's next? Hammocks? No, I'm not going to go for hammocks because they're not really tents. They're very personal hammocks. Nemo equipment. Hey Pioneer. No, that's the South African one. This is the nonsense, Google. I didn't want South African. Tepui. But that's not American. So, where are you guys? Endless Adventure. Oh, it's got a Defender. A little cutie pie. That's a rooftop tent. No, man, I don't know what's wrong with you. What else is there? Australian swags. Swags are a flippin' awesome jewel. You can get a 2-person swag, which is fantastic. If you've got one adult and a daughter like myself, I would go with my daughter, who's now 5, and go camping and use a swag. It's very cool, very easy. Bulky, but the way off is you obviously, all you need to put in is your sleeping bag and your pillow. The rest of it, the foam, the dome, everything is all in one. It's flippin', they're great. Generally Australian made, and you can order them online. There's some really good ones. Short history of camping in America. No, didn't ask for that. America's 10 cities. Didn't ask for that. Yeah, see, man, why? Not Native Americans, because that's very specific. What else is there? High consumption? No. Yo, man, what is going on with Google? Why is it so important for you to not have... Let me go into shopping and see what they come up with. So, everything is South African take a lot. Banggood. So, you can get a Banggood 1,500 Rand, which is sitting at about $100. Just over $100, for example. 3 to 4 people, camping tent. With a sunshade canopy. Bushtech is South African. Ice Trail. Quite irritating. K-Way, South African. Yo, man. Why? I think if you know where you are, where you want to be in your camping, I think Coleman actually do some really good stuff that's pretty reasonable. That I don't have a problem with. Coleman is fairly good, and there's some good online websites too that you can buy if you don't find what you're looking for. But what's this Go Cot? Let's have a look at what this is. This is camping cot, camping bed. America's finest cot, made in USA since 1978. Looks like it's pretty easy to carry. Oh, it's one of those. So it's not really it's basically just a mattress off the ground. Small pole. It's got 2 long poles. Not a tent. Why you pop up as a tent, I don't know. Hennessy hammock. Not doing hammocks. America. Okay, so let's just go to European. Let's see if Google will allow Europe to do this. Outdoor and camping, yourlife.shop skincare. It's a tent, you freakos. Tent Sile. Let's open up Tent Sile. What are you saying? Looks nice. Oh wow, look at that. So it's got a flotation. Well, the main picture I'm looking at before I scroll has got a 3-sided open side, like a big tent that you can sit on the riverbed with. That's pretty cool. This is one of those triangular hammock stories that you go between the trees. That's definitely not what I'm looking for. Tent Co.co.za, South African. Canvas and tent, South African. Nothing for luxury. 25. Wow. Google, you suck. Nemo equipment, that's not what I'm looking for. I did type in ground tents and it's a challenge. Why, Google, you fruitcakes? I nearly swore. Travelandleisure.com. .com is American. Let me open and see if it's European. Maybe that link. Best lightweight tents. So, the Big Agnes. No, we've found out they're not the right price point. The Flashlight 2. Too expensive. $370 for something you can get simpler. Big Agnes Scouts. ULT2, no thank you. Olympic Dome looks pretty basic, lots of mesh. $209 looks okay. If there's a fly sheet, I don't know. Very breathable. Another big Agnes, not even going to go there. Kelty Airlift 6. 4-season tents. Ooh, that looks flipping chilly. No, man, the North Face is sitting at $590. It's got sleeves, all sorts of different stuff. It looks nice. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8 poles. Peg down, 2, 4, 6. So 12 pole peg down. It's £8 only. And that's not bad. But not for the price. You can definitely do something better. Again, depending on where you are in your camping experience. What else is there? The Hilberg Anjan 2 has got Curlon 1000 fabric, which means absolutely nothing. Boasting a tunnel design more common in European than United States. This top line Swedish tent is made of high quality tear resistant Curlon 1000 fabric. So any parachute fabric is tear free, so that's immediately nonsense. And parachute fabric is not that expensive that it costs this $645, so that's a little bit unrealistic. Sorry, tent makers, if you're listening. What else we got here? No, that's not going to work. The North Face comes up again. Over top, a hammock, no, another very high-end hammock. A bivy is quite similar to swag, slightly different design but similar, also very nice. You will get claustrophobic. If you have any claustrophobia issues, don't go for a swag or a bivy tent. You basically close yourself in a cocoon. I did a tent. I had my swag. I slept in Namibia in the wild. I actually kept my big himba. It was a Maasai knife inside in case a lion or a hyena came past, and started scratching at the tent. I could literally stab through it before it'll allow me to get out and run into my car, obviously. So let me go back again. I didn't want you. I want you, right? So Google, arseholes. Born in a tent. How camping makes us Australian? No. Choosing the right tent for a camping holiday, France and Europe. EU touring. Let's open that. That looks interesting. Because in Europe, like in North America, it's challenging because it's weather related. So, you may need to buy one tent for summer and one for winter, which does make sense. And this is all written. I'm not going to go through that now. That was pointless. Let me go on to page 2 and see. Tensile Camp Hiidenvesi. Oh, that's an advert. I'm not opening up adverts. MSR Gear, no. Momondo, no. I know at gear.co.za is a South African site. So I know that there are some really good UK and European based websites for camping stuff. I have ordered from them, so I don't have a problem in checking them out, because sometimes, and in fact in most cases, there's a tent that I can't get here. I'll just order it online. So there's a number of them. There's Quesha is one that makes it. I forget the name of the holding company. They're huge and the pricing is just amazing and really good. I have dealt with them before. They're a little bit schneisters when it comes to what they want to pay, but they obviously go on volume and price. But their stuff is tried and tested, so I can tell you that I do trust it. Their quality and their product is really good. Just obviously as a supplier, it makes it quite challenging. Gordy Gear roof tents. I don't want a roof tent. I want ground. I even typed ground. Idiots. Maybe they're telling people don't go on the ground. Who knows? No. Sorry, guys. So that's really all I've managed to find. Trying to, unless I specifically spend 8 years finding one thing, finding like 5 websites that are suitable, good luck. Thanks to Google. I'm now going on to the 4th page. What does it say? First time guide to motorcycle camping? No. Camping in Denmark? No. Tents in Spain? Oh, that's an Airbnb. I mean, what is wrong with you people? Yeah, anyway. What can you do? So, yeah, unfortunately, it's not something that is cut and dry. You are going to have to dig around. It obviously is better to walk in and see a tent. So REI and some of those other ones would be great. In Europe, you're probably looking at Go Outdoors and a few of those other outdoor stores. Germany is pretty good. I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but the problem is finding the one that you want. You need to do campingoutdoor.eu. Let me open that website. What do you say? Yo, $360. Basically, it's a very expensive teepee. Really. That's what that looks like. It is called a 10T camping tent, desert waterproof 5 to 10 person family tent, teepee made of cotton blended fabric. You don't want cotton. Wrong way to go already. Cotton the moisture will just get into it, and that's not good. What else is there? MSR, travel, leisure. No, guys. Thanks to Google, it's limiting yet again. So, yeah, you're going to have to just choose your battles carefully. But, again, when you're doing all of this, look at what you need and what you must have. So, if you have kids, you're going to need and must have a different compartment, depending on the age of your kids, depending on the space, and depending on how often you want to pack this thing out and pack it away. So it is a bit of a challenge. So if you have any questions, I actually don't even know if you can bomb questions in podcasts. You can reach me on 4x4@far.com or through my website, through Facebook. But subscribe onto YouTube, man. That is really one of the better ways to have a look. I've just put something up now about rear draw systems, and that is, I think, very cool because I have a rear draw system now in the back of Ollie, which is my Defender, and in 45 minutes of cooking, I ended up opening this thing 16 something times, which is crazy on its own. So thank you for listening. Sorry it was a waste, but phone Google, tell them that they're a bunch of fruitcakes, and let them know. Otherwise, Amazon, I guess, would be pretty good. Just to research, everything goes on Amazon. So type in and spend a good hour for 2-3 days looking for what you want. That is very important. So thanks for listening. Follow my channels, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the podcasts. I really want to get into more podcasts. Sorry, it's taken me like 3 weeks or 4 weeks to get this one out. I will be doing some more, and we will keep in touch. Have a blessed day, and hope to hear from you guys soon if you have any questions. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.